Today I'm taking a look at these. These are the Retevis RT24 PMR446 radios. And the only reason I actually got these was because of some comments on a previous video of mine. A guy called Michael commented on a video a couple of times and mentioned these, and so I thought, well, they're such a reasonable price. This is a pair of PMR446 radios, and they sell for about £25. You can get them for £25 on eBay. I picked them up for £27 on Amazon. So these are totally, totally reasonable. They're a standard 0.5 of a watt, but I want to compare them to this device. So the standard sort of Motorola thing that you get. I want to just do a comparison with those. But to start with anyway, let's just get in the box and have a look what you actually get with them. So standard Retevis manual here. I wouldn't really expect this to be amazing, because the experience I have with their manuals is that although they can be fairly informative, the actual English itself may not always be 100% perfect. All right, let's have a look at the radios themselves. If I can get them out. So we have our radio with volume and power switch on the top, and channel select here, which is just a nice clean bottom to top channel select. It's just a nice individual switch for each, nothing else, just no display. Unlike the Motorola, which has sort of display on the top, this just has a single, just has a couple of buttons really. That's about it. All right, what else do you get? So you get two of those. The antennas are fixed. I would sort of expect that for the money, really. The antennas are fixed, yeah. And here we have two batteries. Now, one of the things that I was quite keen on with these is the fact that these are they're lithium-ion batteries. So these packs, one thing that winds me up about these is that they are nickel metal hydride cells that you need to put in them. They're the ones that come with them. You can, of course, put AA, something else in there. You could put some lithium cells in there or something, or you can, in my case, I've put some alternative nickel metal hydrides in there, but that means I've got to use this every time to take them out. I've got to actually unscrew this and charge them up, but they last ages compared to the original ones that came with the pack, the original nickel metal hydride pack, but it's just a pain. So the fact that this contains a lithium-ion battery is good news. It's only 1,100 milliamp power, which doesn't seem terribly much. But let's have a quick look. Wow, just turn that one off. How does this fit on? I'm assuming it's. Do I just need to clasp that back? Not quite sure which way these go. So they just slot up like that, right. There. And they do come, it does also come with two charging cradles. Nice, USB. Excellent, that's good news. Wow, USB charging cradles. So yeah, two charging cradles with those for each of them. I'll just move the box out of the way for a second. You can see, get an idea. That just fits in there like that. This is not badly made for 25 quid. I mean, that's probably this. Yes, admittedly, this is a bit long. This is something I was talking about in a previous video. The fact that these are short, but they of convenience in the sense of they're not in the way and stuff. So admittedly these could be in the way a little bit, but hopefully if that is a kind of full length sort of piece of, you know, antenna in there, you've got a sort of quarter wave antenna, I think. Should, maybe not quite. Let me just put it up against the measurements on here. Maybe not quite. It's not quite enough, is it? But, well, we'll see. So let's just turn it on.
4.
Okay.
5.
So vocal feedback when you change the channel.
6. 7.
Very nice. And it goes up to 16, I think.
14. 16.
So it goes up, it covers the full 16 channels on PMR rather than just the first 8, which is the case with the Motorola. And I've got a scanner here, so I'm just going to stick that on scan. I've got this set to actually scan the full PMR446, so let's just set this to 16.
15. 16.
16. And see whether that transmits. Yeah, we can see there. It's just no actual audio on that. Don't know why. But it is transmitting, and you won't be able to see that, I don't think. But you can see PMR 16, and it's 446-19375, DCS 26. We've got no audio on it, but I'm not quite sure how to use these yet. So yeah, I'll come back to that in a second. Let's have a look at what the rest of what you get in the box. I just can't believe that, you know, something like that, a radio like built like that, sells for £25. That's amazing. Little belt clip that attaches here somehow. Not going to do that now. 2 little sort of just basic lanyards, and there's my other battery pack in there, and we also get 2 little headset things, little earpieces with a push to talk button on there as well, with a mic that I assume fits in the side here. Yep, that fits in the side of the radio. So overall, all in all, should I say, a really nice package for that amount of money. Apparently you can change the CTCSS and the DCS on these. I don't know how you do that right now, but I'm going to find out and get back to you, because just having the 2 buttons, I'm not too sure how that would be done, but let me check. Okay, so now I understand. The port on the side here is a standard, it supports standard Kenwood programming cables, and you do need to buy that separately. So this port here, you'll need to get a separate programming cable to be able to change the DCS or the CTCSS. As it stands, channel 1 to 8 on these
16.
Is
1, 2.
I think, let me just grab my receiver again. Yeah, so channel 1 to 8 is on these particular these particular ones is programmed to a CSS of 114.8, and as we just did before,
9.
Everything 9 to 16 is DCS 26. So out of the box, totally usable. But of course, if you do want to program them and make them something different from the default, you're going to need to buy a programming cable as well. So the Retevis RT24, how does it compare to the Motorola? Well, at the moment I haven't had any chance to test them, so I don't know how it compares audio quality wise. I don't know how it compares sensitivity wise, transmission wise, reception, all that sort of stuff. So, but as far as just comparing these two on my first impressions, well, value for money, this is incredible. There's no doubt about it. £25, as I've mentioned, I think 4 times already in this video. £25 for a pair of these. But you are getting limited functionality with that. Now, it's important to stress that that might not be a problem for you. The Motorola, of course, comes with various features, and you can easily adjust your kind of your CTCSS and DCS codes on here, which Motorola call privacy codes or sub-channels. That's absolutely meaningless because they're not private at all. You've got buttons for monitoring. You've got buttons to call people. Certain useful features, but also a lot of features that you're just never gonna use in most practical applications. These are a simple pick up and use radio. They are a simple turn on. Tells you the channel. What channel's my other radio on? Oh, it's on 7. So
7.
Right, let's change this to 7. Job done. Leave it. Of course, if you do want to edit anything, you do want to change anything, you need to have a programming cable to go in the side of this, and you need to do that on a PC. If you want to change your CSS to some other frequency, then you're going to have to do that using the programming cable. And that could be a pain. But again, practical applications mean that you're going to want a bunch of these on a dock, take them off and use them. And in this case, and for that, these seem incredibly good. So far, and again, I stress I haven't had a chance to test these. So far, the audio quality on these is great. The speaker is loud, it's clear, louder certainly than the Motorola. And the volume on it is excellent, and that's always a problem with these, because if you're in loud environments, you can often you can't hear when something comes in, and I suppose that's where the call button's useful, because then of course you can call the other person, and it's much more audible, that kind of call. But on these, you just have a decent volume to start with, so there's no. At least as far as I'm aware, there's no kind of beep at the end of the transmission, which you may like to have. I don't know if that is something that can be enabled in software, possibly. You have limited visible, you can't see what's going on with this radio. I mean, how's the battery on this? Does that go red maybe when the battery's low? You know, this obviously has a display on it and you can see exactly what's happening with the battery. You're just going to pick this up and use it. Again, it goes back to that. The longer antenna, hopefully, will give better reception performance. I talked in another video about what the ERP of these things can actually be. And I'm thinking that the antenna, even though it's potentially a better performing one than these short little stubby coiled ones, is going to be still half a watt out. You know, to meet regulations in Europe, I don't think Retevis are going to get away with having them any more than that. So you're just counting on the reception side then. Hopefully that antenna is going to receive potentially a little bit better than this one. But then it comes down to sensitivity of the receiver and what have you. So don't know yet. The push to talk button I really like on this. It's a lot more kind of positive. I always find on these Motorola's it's just a little bit squidgy. This is a nice positive. Let me if I hold this up to the mic. It's a nice definite click. In the middle of the push to talk button, you've got a nice definite click. I handed this to my 4-year-old son this morning and just said, can you just give this a go? Just set it to the same channel, Mike. Just give it a go and just see how it works for you. And he had no problems with it whatsoever. It worked perfectly for him. Of course, as all children do, he was like this into the mic, but you know, we'll give him, you know, let him off that. The belt clip fits fairly nicely to the back. I do like this belt clip, I must admit. It fits, it just slots nicely. You can slot these very nicely onto your jeans or whatever. This is, it's got the potential, I suppose, to be a bit more fragile. It's got kind of this raised bit here, and that could be a problem, but I don't think so really. But again, £25 for a pair. Build quality is excellent. Lithium-ion battery that pops easily off the bottom, but you don't really need to because they come with the USB charger, as I said. And I charged these both up last night. They took no time at all. Just plug them both in. So you can plug them into multiple ports on your computer. You can plug them into USB chargers. You can plug them into a USB charger in a car. The fact that they are USB makes things brilliant. I mean, yeah, you might not have a rack of USB ports in the same way as you might have a rack of main sockets to plug adapters into, but I bet you've got a bunch of chargers sat in a drawer somewhere if you're using these type of radios. As for the headset, well, I'm going to test this on the audio test, and I'm going to do a video specifically on the audio quality of these, and I'm going to try this. The headset that comes with the Motorola is horrible. When you use the push to talk, it lets out a huge pop that will it'll bloody burst your eardrum. It's horrible to use and absolutely useless, and it comes down like this. It just looks stupid. And yeah, I mean, this is just an earpiece and a cable that comes down in a kind of you know, like you would have on a phone, and has a push to talk with a mic on. So yeah, nice. I mean, I'll test that out, see what the audio quality is like, how it differs between this, using this, and this. So watch out for that video. That's coming up very soon. But for now, there you go. There's your overview and first impressions in comparison between the Motorola and the RT24. Different type of radio. Probably different type of people are going to buy these. But I think it's still good to compare and see which one's going to give you the best value for money. We'll do some more range tests and signal tests in the future.